naturopath. Thank you for coming back. How did I come up with this formulation? What's the science behind it? Is it just some random stuff I just picked out, or to become a formulator takes a long time to formulate supplements. In my experience, I'm a formulator, as I've spoken about, but I'm also a clinician, and that's quite a rare thing. Most people who see patients don't formulate any supplements. They buy supplements in wholesale, they sell them retail, they work with professional lines, they work with retail lines. I did that for decades, worked with lots and lots of products. But I also, ever since I was a student, I've worked for companies in a technical capacity. A long time ago, when I was in Australia working in a health food shop, I started to become a rep. So I started to become a sales rep for different companies. I started to go and visit lots and lots of practitioners. It's something I repeated when I moved to New Zealand in 1998. I started to work for several companies, and then I eventually had my own company I developed in the early 2000s. So I always had my hand in many different supplement lines. I know the products, I know the companies, I know the key players, I know the manufacturers, and I go to conferences, seminars, raw material expos. It's just what I do. When you're in that field, you get a feel for things. Not unlike a musician who tours and travels, you learn from people. I learned from the best people in the business, many different mentors I've had over the years, and many of these were leading world experts in their fields. So I would sit down with these people, have a meal, maybe a glass of wine, and discuss things. And then notes would be written down on paper napkins. I start to learn. Some nights we'd have a whole conversation for hours just about vitamin B12, for example. So I started to learn things that most people don't know. I learned a lot of technical aspects. And those things were honed and refined by going to lots of different expos in the United States, pre-COVID, long time ago now, when I could talk again to world leading experts in probiotics, world leading experts in vitamin C manufacture. So my vitamin C journey goes back to early 2000, when I started to get serious about vitamin C and think I'd love to make a really high quality product. So I contacted a very expert man, Henry Osiki in Australia, a man who did a lot of work for the World Health Organization. He developed special foods up for people. He's considered one of Australia's foremost nutritionists, written many books, including his expert book on cancer. I had many discussions with Henry. Henry had a company which is called Orthoplex, which I think is still working. Henry was the first guy to bring glucosamine to the Southern Hemisphere. Glucosamine as a supplement. Henry brought coenzyme Q10 down to the Southern Hemisphere from the north. CoQ10 now is a household. Well, everybody knows CoQ10. But Henry told me, and was a formidable force, and encouraged me to look into seriously studying formulations, which I started to do. I started to seriously break formulations down. So I'd create Excel spreadsheets, and I'd put 50 or 100 vitamin C products on the spreadsheet. I'd break every single product down and look at every single ingredient in these products to see how they were formulated, why they were formulated. And then I went further and I tried to find out where the raw materials came from, which is very difficult, but because of inside information, I knew a lot of the raw suppliers. So that's how I started. My very first products, in fact, I think was the vitamin C powder, but I have formulated for other companies prior to that. And I've been contacted many times by companies to formulate, which I've rejected, because I had to formulate under their guidelines using the cheap raw materials, which I would never do. I only want to use the best raw materials I can find. So my first vitamin C product was Daily C. So Daily C came about after analyzing over 50 different vitamin C powders, and then realizing that the best powders were pH balanced. So ascorbic acid partnered up, basically, which is the form of vitamin C that the body prefers to use, is ascorbic acid, has the highest uptake. But it's too hard on the stomach. Using pure ascorbic acid can burn the gut and cause burping and a lot of heartburn and reflux. So I soon gave up on that idea. So then I realized I had to create a buffered one. So buffered basically means you're using ascorbic acid and you're using minerals bound to ascorbate So it changes the solution. It changes the potential hydrogen from a low pH. It brings it up a little bit. So it stops that, that strong reaction you get in the gut. So then I thought, I got to make a buffered product. But then I started to look further and realized I wanted a very powerful immune boosting product, which had to include zinc. So zinc came in there. So I put zinc in Daily C. I also realized I really didn't want to have any sugar in the product. So I put some stevia Robundiana in there. But the stevia in this is too sweet, and many people complained that this product's nice but very sweet. And these are mistakes I rectified in what I now call the Lamborghini. In this one, I rectified that. We're using a better stevia, we're using less stevia, we're using also citric acid in this formula, as we did in this one. Citric acid's fantastic for the body. Go and do some Google research on citric acid. But I went further with this product because I realized people need a lot more zinc than they're getting in their diet. So I've got 11.5 milligrams of elemental zinc in each scoop of this, which is very, very powerful for a vitamin C formulation. The other massive improvement on this over the older version, basically, was the vitamin E in it, the D-alpha tocopherol succinate, or the vitamin E. So in the Daily C, we've got 151 international units. In this one, we've got 250. So we put 250 in here, we boosted it right up. We've also got a lot of beta carotene in here, 3,000 milligrams of beta carotene, micrograms, sorry, of beta carotene. So now we've got an ACE powder, vitamins A, C, E, which are the prime antioxidants. Antioxidant formulations today, there's a really great need for an antioxidant powder for people because of the high stress, ultraviolet light, pollution, chemicals, toxins, stress, all these things, they just come down on us. They're bearing down on us. And it's really good to have a product that helps to support healthy DNA. And that's exactly what this product will do. So I've come a long way. I'm 60 years old. I designed this product when I was 46. Was it 46? Man, that's already 14 years ago. So this product's 14 years old. It stood the test of time. But like anything, it's superseded now. This is my new one. And no doubt when I'm 70, I'll design something far beyond this. Probably using technologies then that we haven't got today. But I consider this now probably my flagship product. I'm really proud of this. It took me a long time to develop this formula to get it exactly how I want. We went through lots and lots of containers, trial samples, and lots of experimentation before we finally came up with this one. It took a long time to get the texture and taste right. So I'm very proud of it. There's a lot of science behind it. There's an incredible amount of hours I put into it. And it's called C3K+, and I'm happy with it. Thanks for tuning in.